Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got 'em for a breath. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It's MRN's Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post here talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. And we're glad you joined us here on the Motor Racing Network. We are joined by royalty today. We've got Lance Dewease and Brad Doty, a couple of guys that have done fairly well for themselves in the sprint car world.
Yeah, fairly well.
Fairly well, exactly. So going to be great fun, and we are glad you joined us. As I mentioned, Erin Evernham alongside. And Erin, boy, I'm telling you, last week was really telling as far as the schedule getting down. We got to about Wednesday, and all of a sudden the cancellations started coming in, and it's like, wait a minute, we've got Susky or nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, it was crazy
cold
how the
weather,
weekend went away.
snow, all the,
Yeah, so it was getting down there and everything. That being said, they did run at Susky.
Yeah.
Exactly, and Lance Dewease won. No big shocker there.
Yeah,
so,
shocker.
Exactly. Let's get to it. Our classic ink, screen printing, and embroidery hot topics. Let's talk a little bit about Central Pennsylvania here. We're going to talk to Lance in a bit, but I love, one of the things I love that they do up there is the Champion Racing Oil BR Motorsports Central Pennsylvania Sprint Car Series presented by Hoseheads.com. They have a $24,000 purse for the year, okay? And for the first time in his career, Danny Dietrich's going to win the $6,000 top prize. 12 wins, and he had one, you think of all the races in Pennsylvania, he had one more point at the end than Lucas Wolf.
that's crazy.
It's amazing. Lucas had 8 wins. Greg Hodnett was third in a subpar season. You just can't sugarcoat that. That's subpar with 7 wins. Lance Dewease in a limited schedule with 12 wins. Brock Zierfoss 7, Freddie Raymer with 6 wins. Those are 2 of the young guns. They were 5th and 6th,
Yeah.
2 of the young guns. Brock won the track championship at Port. Freddie won it at Williams Grove. Oh, by the way, Freddie is going to be our guest on Saturday on MAV TV. So going to be big, but congratulations to everyone in Central Pennsylvania that puts this together. Erin, whenever, and these will be delivered, Danny Dietrich will get his $6,000 at the York Racing Fan Club, and Ashley Stremmy's the guest speaker this year.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I know. So Ashley gets to hang out with Dietrich, or Dietrich gets to hang out with Ashley, one or the other, which that's a bad combination.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed it is. But man, to be sitting there in the middle of the winter and get a $6,000 check.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah,
what they
on
do.
top of all the actual speedways and whatever to have their own PA. I like that. I like the idea of that. The whole region has a points championship.
Right. All part of Pennsylvania just being such a rock-solid region. One of the other things we like, we talk at the end of the year about lists and different things. My buddy Brad Baker, and had a chance, caught up with Brad at Lakeside, and Lakeside is notorious for slow traffic getting out. Brad is notorious for brewing his own beer, so you put Brad's beer with slow traffic, and we sat around and solved all the world's problems.
Postman,
exactly.
Yep.
While everyone else is all out there honking on the horn and trying to get out of Lakeside, Brad and I and his wife and his daughter and her friend, we're just all hanging out, having a great time. But I love the win list, especially this time of year. And we have had so many drivers that have won 15 or more races. Schatz leads with 22. Okay. And it's a subpar year for Schatz.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
usually he's pushing 30 on this deal. So Schatz leads with 22. I am telling you, Sam Haferteep Jr., we know he's been clobbering them with ASCS. I didn't really pay attention to this until just recently. 19 wins for Sam, and they're not done yet.
No,
They've got another weekend or two of racing. David Gravel, 19 wins. We've talked a lot about David. Kevin Thomas Jr. is one of the traditional sprint racers. He has 19 wins at all, although he did do a little winged racing along the way. Dylan Westbrook, he's the guy that's up in Ohsweken, the 360 racer from up in Canada. We had him on our MAV TV show, 18 wins. Bill Baylog, 16.
Yeah.
I mean, that one kind of sneaks up on me. And Kyle Hurst, 15 wins. Now, it's been a banner year for Hurst.
Yeah, absolutely.
Won his first World of Outlaw race, 15 wins, and on Saturday he finally did it. He got married.
Oh,
We've been talking,
he's been engaged forever.
We've been talking to Kyle Hurst for 25 years, I swear, And him and
I don't
Amy,
even know if he's 25 years old.
no, he's probably not. Him and Amy finally got married. So 15 wins, including a World of Outlaw
It's a good
win
year.
and a wife. So a tip of the cap to Kyle Hurst, and congratulations to you and Amy on the marriage. And but just great. I love that race winners list. I really do. It really kind of sets things off. And the same name at the top that we usually see up there,
Of course.
but other interesting ones have popped up toward the tail end of that top 5 list, if you will. There you have it, your Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. Great T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, hoodies, towels, and more. www.classicinkusa.com. That's classicinkusa.com. We need to step away because, part of the dream team, the Hall of Fame team, if you will, Lance Dewease, he joins us next.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, right on our strength.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum's newest feature exhibit is our Salute to Champion Sammy Swindell, June 9th through October 15th, at the only museum in the world solely dedicated to sprint car racing, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa. Stop in and check out 8 of Sammy's original race cars and see his trophies, uniforms, and more as you learn about his outstanding career. The Salute to Champion Sammy Swindell is only this season at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville.
Classic Ink USA Screen Printing and Embroidery is constantly testing the limits of custom racewear and specialized embroidery. Headquartered in Western Pennsylvania, Classic Ink holds the highest standard, maximizing your return as well as the ultimate customer satisfaction. From track swag fanwear to quick crew crewwear, Classic Ink has you covered. Their dedicated staff and designers will keep your race team and fans looking sharp. Contact Classic Ink today and get your team ahead of the competition. www.classicinkusa.com. That's Classic Ink, at the track and on your back.
Find Wing Nation on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and in the MRN.com Media Center.
Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. We can't believe we're getting to the end of the season, and but he had time for one more win. He had time. Joining us, he drives Don Kreitz, fame number 69 car, up in 69K car up in central Pennsylvania. Joining us on the hotline is Lance Dewease. Hello, Lance. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, Lance, you just had to go do it one more time. You didn't. 11 wasn't enough. You had to make it a nice even number of a dozen. Congratulations on that win at Susquehanna on Saturday. Tell us about your afternoon there.
Well, it was great to get the win in the season that way for us. We were pretty good all day, except for the dash, and we started 6th and worked our way up to the lead. And as soon as we passed for the lead, we had a little bit of contact with the guy that was leading it, and we had a lot of damage to the front of the car, but we were able to keep moving and keep going and hang on for the win.
Lance, what exactly happened? I think we're showing the highlights right now on video. What happened with Logan Schuart, and how much damage did you really have?
Well, he had a good run at me, I guess, after watching the video of it afterwards. He had a good run at me, and I don't think he was expecting me to be running the bottom like I was, and that's where I was running almost the whole race up in 3 and 4. And when I started down, he was already committed, and it was just one of those things that it wasn't intentionally on his part. He was committing to go back by me, except for one problem: we both were trying to fill the same space, and he ran over my whole front end and took the nose wing and laid it forward and down, and so we lost a lot of the front end downforce. And once that happened.
Lance, as you're riding around there and you can see the nose wing pointed back up, whatever it is, you got damage. At that point, how did you adjust your driving? How did you adjust the wing? How did you adjust to make that car manageable to go on and win the race?
Well, I've been doing this long enough that we've been around and had that happen before, and it takes all the front end downforce off the car, so. It's going to push pretty hard. I know I can't run out high getting in the corners, which fortunate enough, we weren't running out high in 3 and 4 anyhow. 1 and 2, I could cheat the corner, run the middle, and float it. yeah, the flip side of that, they actually have better traction down the straightaways like that, but you just have to be really smooth with the throttle. It would shove the nose anytime I gave a bunch of throttle. So we just moved the top wing all the way forward and, try to ride it out.
That's incredible. Lance, you've had an awesome season, and we had Donnie Kreitz on a few weeks ago, and he spoke so highly of your driving. What does it mean to you to hear someone who was a fellow competitor, someone who you saw win a lot of races himself, speak so highly of you as a driver?
Oh, it means a lot. It means a lot when him and Davey both talk good about me, and I'm just proud to be part of the team. We're gonna ride this ride as long as we can. The wave as long as we can ride her, and when he says he's done, I'm probably done. So we just really enjoy it. We enjoy it. Even when we're not running good. Our Williams Grove National wasn't what we were hoping for. It's the first time we had problems at a big race for 2 years, so we can't really complain. Afterwards, we were all still happy, enjoying it, and getting ready to go to the next race, and that's what it's all about. We've all been around so long. We've been through the ups and downs of the sport.
Yeah, there was on Twitter, it was a little bit of fun. They said you were not fired and will be back next year. So I don't know that there was any question about that. But and every other team in Pennsylvania said, oh, great, along the way. Lance, at this point, and actually it's interesting because I had this same conversation with Stevie Smith about 2 years ago or 3 years ago. The story is Stevie paired up with Fred Raymer and just put a couple of years, big old bow tie around a great career. You're in a similar spot than this. Is this about more than a guy at your point in life can ask for to run the limited schedule, but to know every time you roll in, you could park it on the front stretch?
Yeah, it's kind of a dream scenario because you get to cut back your racing schedule, but you can be competitive at every race we show up at. And that's one of the reasons we can be competitive at every race we show up. We're not wearing ourselves out. We're not wearing down mentally. We're not wearing the equipment down. We're kind of a pretty low funded team. People might not realize that, and we only have 2 engines, and we make do with what we got, and they work so hard on the race car and the handling of the race car. It makes up for areas that we might be hurting in.
Lance, have you guys talked much 2018? Do you think you'll keep a similar schedule next year?
I would say so. It's the schedule we run is about all they can do, and I'm happy doing that. I told Donnie from day one that if he wants to go race, we'll go race. He tells me we're not going to go race, we're not going to go race. I can go golf and I can do something else with the family. If he called me up today and said we're leaving tomorrow for Charlotte, I'd be packing my bags heading to Charlotte. Whatever. I told him I'm here to race for him only. I've had other opportunities to fill in some other races with other deals, but I made commitment to him and my family that this is who I'm going to drive for, and this is the only person I'm going to drive for. And when he tells me I'm done, I'm done.
Man, that's a great spot to be in. A spot you've earned also, I might add. You've certainly earned that along the way. All right, so one of the other things, you talk about your golf game and the family and everything, but describe a little bit your involvement with the shock business and your consulting and working with shocks. How busy is that for you? How does that fit into your life?
It's going good. It's as busy as I want it to be right now. With everything that I have on my plate, I'm a one-man operation with it. With my other stuff that I have going on, it's about as busy as I want it right now. I have some really good customers. Picked up a lot of the sportsman guys that are running really good and winning championships, and then I also help a young guy on Saturday nights at Port Royal when I'm not racing. I really enjoy doing that and really helping him out and working on the race cars and trying to make the race car go faster for him. So I have enough on my plate to keep me busy, and it just kind of all blends together.
Lance, you talked shocks and golfing. Do you have any other big plans for the off season?
No, we just do our normally. We go away for vacation with the family all during the off season. We're not used to doing stuff during the summer, even though we do take some summer vacations the last 2 years that we haven't been able to do for 30 years. So it's neat to go do some stuff that I've never done in my life because I've always raced. So we get some vacation time in during the summer months now that we've never done before. So that makes the wife happy and the son happy.
No doubt about it. Happy,
Happy
everyone's
wife, happy
that's
life.
right. Happy wife, happy
happy
life.
wife, happy life.
That's right. If mama ain't happy, nobody happy. So that is great stuff. Lance, thanks for your time for joining us. Congratulations on not only the win at Susky, but a fabulous season along the way. Enjoy the downtime, enjoy the off season, and we can't wait to see what you guys have for us next year.
Well, hopefully faster and better than what we were this year. That's what they shoot for, and we all shoot for, and hopefully that's what we'll be. I
am sure you guys will, that's for sure. That's Lance Dewease joining us here on the program. Yeah, and everyone else in Pennsylvania, they want to be faster and better. So great stuff. You think about that, and I'm sincere, he's earned that. I mean, he is just one of the elite drivers in the sport, and to be able to pick and choose, not only racing-wise with someone like Donnie, that they're all on the same page, but then even with the shock business, and then with helping a young person, or going golfing and doing something with the family, man, that is well earned, and that just shows what he's earned along the way.
Absolutely, and I like to see that with some veteran drivers. Joey Saldana has a similar thing going on, and you talked about Stevie Smith. It's like they earn that chance to kind of go out with winning races, a great car, but also balancing life a little bit. Indeed. A little bit better than a sprint car driver usually does.
As you transition from no summer vacations to some summer vacations.
That's culture shock. You got to ease.
We need to step away. When we come back, Sprint Car and Midget Magazines. Brad Doty joins us next.
For over 50 years, drivers in Sprint Car, Midget, Micro, Modified, and even Dirt Late Model have taken the checkered flag on Weld racing wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld racing wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld racing wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing. Proven speed.
O'Reilly. If it's time to replace your vehicle's headlights, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts See Better, Drive Safer sale for a twin pack of Sylvania Silver Star Ultra headlights and get a $15 O'Reilly gift card after mail-in rebate. See farther and more clearly with Silver Star headlights at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Victory Junction, it's simple. We believe every child, no matter their diagnosis or disability, deserves the chance to just be a kid. So we provide a medically safe environment where children who live in a world of hospital stays and doctor's visits are free to do everything from riding horses, ziplining, swimming, fishing, and bowling, all at no cost to the camper. The experience inspires confidence, builds self-esteem, and changes the life of every child who comes here. Help us change a child's life at victoryjunction.org.
Hi, I'm Donnie Schatz, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. One of my favorite times of the month is when the Sprint Car and Midget Magazine arrives in the mailbox, because I'm always looking for what Brad Doty has to say. Well, this time we don't have to wait for the magazine, because we get to talk to him on the hotline. Joining us now, he's a member of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame as well. Brad Doty's on the line. Hello, Brad. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey. Glad to be on. It's always a good day when I get to talk to you guys.
Well, it's good for us as well, Brad. It really is. Brad, it's we cannot believe, Erin and I were talking before the show, we cannot believe we're talking about the World Finals and the end of the year. Where does time go? But when we start to look at the 2017 season, what's some of your takeaways, Brad? What's some of the things that kind of step out to you as we start to look back at this year?
Well, that's kind of ironic, because that's basically what I'm doing my latest column for Sprint Car Midget, kind of a review. But, obviously it has to start with Donnie Schatz, to get his, ninth title in 12 years. He and Ricky Warner and the Tony Stewart racing team have proven again that they've set the bar, worldwide for sprint car racing. So everybody aspires to beat those guys. And, just a few things that jump out. David Gravel, I mean, he's only, 17 wins and only 2 behind. He's had some inconsistencies with the year, and that's hurt him in points a little bit. But Brad Sweet setting there second with 5 wins has been very consistent. So, heard you talking earlier about Brock Zierfoss. He's a guy that really jumps out at me, to win 5 at Port Royal and a couple at Williams Grove, one being a World of Outlaws, and to steal the points from Dylan Disney. Just looking back, I mean, there's so many drivers, and again, I have to read the column to see them all, but that really kind of surprised me. And the big story, Kyle Larson at Knoxville, not only won a prelim, but Chip Ganassi let him come back, and the run that he put on, my goodness, just amazing, just amazing.
Brad, we talk a lot on the show about, right now we're just talking about the drivers individually, but the state of the sport in general. The Knoxville Nationals were huge. You mentioned Kyle Larson's big story. Every big event this year seemed to have a packed crowd, great car counts. What are your thoughts on just the state of the sport itself?
We talked about this before, Erin. It just seemed like a few short years ago we were all, thinking that 410 racing was in deep trouble, and the costs are still probably way too high. But they are too high. But somehow team owners, we've lost some really good ones, but somehow people still figure out a way to race. Maybe they sell their boat to buy another 410 motor. Who knows? But the car counts have been good. As you mentioned, the crowds have been pretty much phenomenal everywhere at big sprint car races, all over. And, it's, as you guys know, 410 sprint car racing is my passion, and I want to see it succeed and go on and get bigger and bigger. And it really makes me feel good to see that it's doing pretty darn well right now.
Brad, when we look at the state of the sport from a team perspective, I kind of like. We have, I think it's 14 World of Outlaw Touring drivers. You've got a handful in the Midwest: the Brian Browns, the Terry McCarls, the Ian Madsons, those type of guys, the Kerry Madsons. You got the Pennsylvania guys. You got some stout teams in California, stout teams in Ohio. I always marvel. And we just got done talking to Lance Dewease, which is a unique situation as well. I always marvel at this sport, and I'd like just your thoughts on how many ways guys figure out how to make this work for them that doesn't look the same as the other. Sam Hafertepe Jr. is another one that's on this 360 deal that's found it there. It seems like there's endless ways for creative, hardworking people to make this work.
Lance Dewease and Tim Schaefer are a couple examples. Shane Stewart went through it a few years ago too. It looked like with Shane, not necessarily his career at that time was over, but here was Tim Schaefer and Lance Dewease just a few short years ago, who weren't sure if they were ever going to get a good ride again. Schaefer talked about having to go back to Pennsylvania to find a job. Things just weren't working out, and to get a second, sometimes third, fourth chances, or it's sprint car racing is such a roller coaster ride for a driver, because usually a deal only lasts 2 or 3 years, and then you're looking again, and hopefully something comes along. But there are a couple of good examples with Dewease and Schaefer who kind of dropped off the map for a while, and then all of a sudden they come back. And, Schaefer has 2 World of Outlaws wins, and I think 12 total, he and Cody Jacobs, and look what Dewease has done, won the 50,000. So that, the ebb and flow of racing in general, but sprint car racing, and you just ask, I sometimes there's no rhyme or reason, or it's just luck of the draw. You don't make things happen. They just happen, and things fall into your lap. And there's those guys are a couple good examples of it.
Yeah, those are great examples. Brad, I always see you on social media. We keep in touch through that, and we bump into you at Knoxville, a bunch of different tracks during the year. How many races do you get to during the year?
Not as many as I'd like to. I'm not a very good fan, I guess, put it that way. So if I'm not working, doing TV or have a reason, to be there, I don't go to a lot. Just now, if they're close, I obviously do. I did go to Mansfield and saw, Ryan Smith sweep the night, who just made an equipment change that week. I don't think I'm allowed to tell what it was, but he wins both of those races, so it was fun to be there and see that. But it was close by, so I don't get to as many as I once did, and even with the TV, a lot of them are what they call a voiceover later, put together in a time slot, and then we go in the studio and voice them over. So, but I definitely get out, and when I am there, I do a lot of snooping around. I look at the race cars pretty darn closely and ask a lot of questions, and sometimes I get answers and sometimes I don't.
Well, indeed, it is. It was always a pleasure. I know we caught up with each other, I think, at Attica earlier this year. It was great to catch up with you, and of course, Knoxville as well. We'll be looking for that year-end wrap-up, some of them that you shared with us and the ones that you're not sharing with us in Sprint Car and Midget Magazine. That's coming out soon. But, Brad, as always, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us here today on the show.
Hey, thanks again for having me on.
There we go. Hall of Famer Brad Doty, and the #1 ambassador of the sport of sprint car racing.
He really is, and I love to hear his thoughts. And he brings up someone like Tim
Schaefer,
Schaefer, like
my gosh,
things that we know, but we somehow
Schaefer climbs aboard that 49 car.
Yeah.
There's nights where it's game, set, match before the hot laps are over. I mean, it's like, oh well. Hey, we need to step away. I want to talk a little bit about Schaefer, something else. We need to step away though, because we got to get this commercial break in. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Only the best go 3 abreast, and they're coming to a track near you in 2017. No matter where you're at, the American Sprint Car Series is near you. From the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, presented by the Mad TV Motorsports Network, to any of the 7 ASCS regional tours, there's over 150 nights of racing to choose from in 2017. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for updates. Listen live on racinboys.com and get the full rundown at ASCSracing.com.
O'Reilly.
Restore lost fuel economy and eliminate rough idle with Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, buy 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner and get 1 free. Clean clogged injectors and increase fuel efficiency with Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner. Buy 2, get 1 free at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Greg Wilson, and you're watching Wing Nation.
Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation here, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. You mentioned Tim Schaefer. I needed to get that break out of the way. That race at Ransomville a few weeks ago, Johnny Gibson described it as a tire in the moat.
Yeah.
He had 4 in the moat. I'm telling you what, he was wheeling that car that night. I never seen anything like that. That car was all the way off the track.
Yeah, and that's not even like a moat. That's a ravine. I mean, he made it sound like it was just simple tire drop-off.
This is not simple what he did. And Brad Sweet sitting back there and couldn't even make up ground on it. He's got to be like, the guy drove through the moat and I couldn't make up ground on him. That's how good Schaefer has been. It is great. National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum birthdays. Well, we've got Lee Brewer Jr., Dave Carday, Calvin Landis coming up Wednesday, Danny Young and Kenny Weld birthdays are later this week. Today, Tom Bigelow, 1996 inductee into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. In 1956, he drove a jalopy at Jefferson Speedway in Wisconsin, 14 starts and 16 flips.
I got some heat races.
He said it's still a track. He said it's still a record. 1950s, he started with the Badger Midgets. USAC Sprint Car champion with 52 wins in 78. Midget champion in 84. 17 seasons with IndyCar. Just a great, great racer and one of the great ambassadors, too. Just a great guy.
Great sense of humor.
Great sense of humor, no doubt about it. So happy birthday today to Tom Bigelow. And all of these stories are contained in the Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. Now, poor little Erin is going away to, where are you going to? Jamaica. Okay, she's going to Jamaica. So the rest of us are going to have to carry on with the World Finals. And, of course, Thursday night is qualifying, Friday and Saturday complete shows. But Friday at 2 at the Camping World Pavilion, and this is for all y'all who are camping. All y'all, see that?
All
Got
y'all.
that in.
You're
All
real
y'all.
Southern there.
All y'all campers there. We are going to have a show, a live Wing Nation show. Of course, you can catch us on MRN.com. Listen to this. Brian Brown, Jason Johnson, Shane Stewart, Brad Sweet, Paul McMahon, Chad Kemenaugh, Darren Pittman, David Gravel, and Danny Dietrich. How about that? Bang.
Yeah. Must be nice.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, will you be tuned in from Jamaica? I mean, ship to shore, whatever it is, yeah.
I did not pick the dates. Let's just put it that way.
All right, exactly.
When the Outlaws are in town,
Yes.
You don't want to leave.
You don't want to leave, except for some of us
you
are, and some
twist
of us
my
are
arm a
staying
little
here.
bit.
Exactly. If you're going to go, Jamaica's not a bad place to go.
Exactly.
Exactly. So it is a special edition. It is 2 o'clock on Friday. For those of you listening, make sure you tune it in. We have got a great lineup of drivers along the way. Coming up on our podcast on Thursday, Bud Kading, and on Saturday, we mentioned this earlier, Freddie Raymer. Thanks to Lance Dewease for joining us, and Brad Doty. More important than all of that, though, thank you for joining us here today.
You've been listening to Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. You can also find Winged Nation on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and in the MRN.com Media Center. Winged Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.